y'all. Thank you for tuning into my channel. It's me, your girl Tottie. It's your girl Tottie. I got a nice body. These hoes keep trying, but they just can't stop me. Man, hold up. But anyways, so today we're gonna talk about emotional and mental debt. Okay? Now this is something everybody can relate to, but nobody really talks about. Not enough, anyways. So I didn't even know what to call it. So that's what I came up with: emotional and mental debt. So if you're wondering what I mean by that, first things first, pour yourself a glass of wine, go get your herbal tea, whatever your deal is, your cocktail, your mocktail, because I need y'all to sip and talk with me. I got me a little wine here. If you don't know, now you know. I've been cleansing and honey. I mean, a few sips of this wine, and I'm like, girl, you brand new. Because I could drink like a fish. I could drink like back to back to back to back to back to back tequila shots, okay? And now I'm like, prissy, cute. I'll just take a glass of Pinot. Pow. So, anyways, she been getting it together. The WAP is like syrup, but she's still celibate. All right. Can I just say, like, I'm just feeling the whole intelligent woke movement. All these smart black guys that's on the internet, I'm just like, do I need to move to California? Do I need to move to California? Because that seemed to be where they at. But anyways, all right, y'all. Emotional and mental debt. I hope you got your drinks. I'm going to talk about this from both perspectives. So I'm going to talk about it from the giver's perspective and the taker's perspective. Now, let me break it down to you. When I say emotional and mental debt, I am talking about being something and expecting the same in return, or giving something internally and expecting someone to give you something internally back. This can happen in a relationship or a friendship. Now, in my case, I give it in both situations. However, I find that when pursuing friendships, people have an easier time giving loyalty and consideration when it's a romantic relationship. And and I say that as far as a friend's perspective, but the friends tend to run into this issue where that person don't give it back to them, and it's like, well, maybe if you was giving it over here, you wouldn't have to come back looking crazy when you fall apart looking for a friend. You know what I'm saying? You got everything you need to give to a relationship that you just started. You just met this person a week or two ago, but you have nothing to give to a friend. Okay, maybe this time it'll be different and work out. We'll see. Anyways, see, I'm just not that person, because I feel like if that's how you are, the reason you're not going to get the ideal relationship you want is because you're being fake. Because when you are something, you are that 100% all the way around. Not just when it comes to certain people, but that's just who you are. Period. Not to say you're supposed to give all of you to everybody you meet. I'm not saying that. But if you're decent, if you're genuine, if you know how to communicate properly, if you don't leave people hanging, you know what I'm saying? If you are not a hurtful or dismissive or evil person, then you're just not that. If you are, then you are. But let's move forward. I'm going to give you some examples by giving you a story time. So first we're going to talk about a time when I was the giver. Okay? And what happens when you're the giver in this situation, you're giving somebody something from the inside of you, okay? And you're expecting something in return. So there was a time where I was extremely loving and loyal to someone based off of, we'll say, history. You know, I knew her for a long time. I have nothing but love and loyalty for you. I'd never do anything to you. I don't shade you. I don't do that petty, make these slick remarks type, you know what I'm saying, try to offend you and I don't do all of that. But that person did. And I kept overlooking the fact that this person is always doing and saying something shady and negative to affect me. I kept overlooking it because I knew that person was insecure. I knew. I said this inside of my head. I said, you're unhappy because you're insecure with yourself. You don't love yourself. You don't like your life or your external, and that's why you're hashing out at me because I make you feel uncomfortable. I made it my mission. This is a problem. Don't be out here trying to fix nobody. You ain't nobody's mama but the kids you had. I made it my mission to say, you know what? I'm going to build up and uplift this person. Every time I come around, what's up, baddie? Okay, you want to go shopping? Let's go get you some bad clothes then. Okay, you know what I'm saying? On a budget. Like, I'm just, do you want me to do your hair then? Like, what do you want then? Not offering without it being suggested, because that's when it's rude, but following up any concern she had with something to offer, a solution. And that's the type of person I am. I'm not that friend where you come to me and be like, Mom, he just don't treat me the same and blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, dang, I'm sorry. No, I say, dang, I'm sorry. But then my next jump is to, all right, sis, so what we gonna do? I mean, you want to go try to get a makeover, or you want to try to approach a conversation with him? You need me to try to help you pay for a therapy session? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you want to do? What you want to do? I'm going to offer you anything but talking to him. I don't talk to people's men. I talked to my homegirl man one time, and I had a few drinks. I talked his ear off. I talked in circles. I could talk all day. I could talk all night. And he was like, bitch, shut up. That's what he was looking like. But I don't do that because I don't even want to accidentally say something. Now, you never know what kind of lies and secrets somebody done told. So I'm not going to talk to you, man, but I offer all types of other ways for us to try to figure this out, you know what I'm saying, if you real to me. But anyways, let me stop rambling. So, yeah, this person, she just couldn't give me what I was giving her. And what I did not do is protect myself. I let her do this for years. Okay? I went on someone's stereo channel the other day, and I told them, I said, you know what? When me and this person were kids, and everybody would get it, like, we'll all kind of be in trouble. The adults would be trying to figure out, who did this and who did that. That person would snitch with their eyes. Did you hear me? That person, all the kids be sitting down with their lips together, not saying nothing. And we could get away with it. No, at least nobody would get a whooping. Ain't nobody finna get a whooping if don't nobody say nothing. And this bitch over there, she looking at you with her eyes, looking at the adult and looking at you with her eyes to pin it on you. Weak asshole from birth. Weak asshole from birth. Snitching with her eyes. You can't trust these folks. Snitching with her eyes. And she ain't the only one. It was somebody else too, Brent. If you ever come across this video, when our parents and them caught us smoking it Black and Mild, that wasn't even my Black and Mild. They was like, whose is it? I didn't say nothing. I'm keeping quiet to not get them in trouble. It wasn't even mine. I took a puff, but it wasn't mine. Brent gonna snitch with his eyes. Weak ass. Okay? Weak ass. But anyways, moving forward. So, I was not getting the same level of loyalty from her that I was given. And instead of protecting myself and being loyal to myself, isn't that funny that I'm sitting here in a situation, I'm expecting loyalty from someone outside of me, from an external source, and I'm not giving it to myself by protecting myself, by getting away from her. Ain't that something? Let me take a sip. The whole point in these types of conversations that I am typically having with myself and with you guys is because what I don't want to do is waste no time blaming other people for things that I can control. I feel like that's what weak do, okay? Weak, do that, and I'm not one of them. I ain't never been weak. I want to do what I can to be as happy and as peaceful and as loving as I can be. So I'm willing to sit down and have these uncomfortable conversations and sort through my thoughts and, you know what I'm saying, just do the work. With that being said, I let this person keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And what I didn't realize is that this person had formed the idea of, well, if she's not going to do anything about it, let me see what else I can get away with. She took my kindness as a weakness, as people say. I don't think I really realized what people meant by that until this situation. She took my kindness as a weakness and decided that because I wasn't doing anything, she knew I was bothered by it. That was not a secret, and I was not hiding it. I just wasn't going in on her for doing the things she was doing, for saying these little slick things and doing these little slick things. But her realizing I wasn't doing anything to her made her want to do more and more slick things to cause an issue. And I let her get away with it. That's my problem. That's my fault. And it exploded in my face, and I kept saying to the mediator, there's always a mediator, right? The mediator kind of sort of makes things worse. But when things do explode, the mediator says, you should have said something. And she was right. Now, here's the thing. I was giving love and hoping I got love back, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I also know that you got to check people, no matter how much you love them. You got to check them. You got to let them know that you have boundaries. And that's a very important part of what I wanted to talk about today as well, knowing your boundaries. You set those boundaries, and you let them be there, and you let them stay there, no matter who they are, even when it comes to your kids. I don't care who it is, your own mama needs to know you got a boundary or two. I'm writing it on my whiteboard. So that's an example of when I was the giver and the taker kept taking, she didn't give me anything back, and here I was, expecting her to pay this debt. And who am I to even put somebody in debt? The moment she showed me that she could not be loyal, I didn't have to disrespect her. I didn't have to pop off. I didn't have to do anything but make sure that I removed her from my life. And I realized that I have repeatedly done this with people because I want to love people through their pain. When I notice that you're hurting, when I notice that you're mean and you're standoffish and you're stuck up and you have this ugly mentality, and it's all because you're hurting, because hurt is ugly. When you're hurting, you lead with your hurt. A lot of people don't realize that. But when you're hurting and you don't do the necessary work to move forward from all the shit you've been through, you lead through your hurt. You bond with people. I have a whole video about trauma bonding. You bond with people over your hurt because it's one of the first few conversations you have. And when you realize that someone can relate to the level of hurt you have experienced, then you say, you know what, I like you because you understand me. How about you try to find something new for yourself instead of trauma bonding, because you ain't gonna get nowhere out here just getting a circle full of hurt people, baby. Hurt people, period. So, there's also an experience that I had when I was the taker. So, I had a very difficult upbringing. I would be very needy because I did not have a support system or a foundation. And I have been blessed to meet amazing people who just, I don't know, just, rocked with me and have helped me through the worst of times. It's really hard to believe now that I think about it, like how many angels have came into my life. There are so many people I wish I could return the favor to them. I have tried to go out of my way to return the favor and extend things, offers to people, because I just want, now that I am in such a better place in my life, I just want to give back. And, honestly, majority have not expected or wanted anything. I have offered and they have been like, no. But there's a situation where this girl, I remember my clothes got stolen and she gave me all of these clothes. I remember when we met when I was a lot younger, there was a couple times she gave me like $20. I'm gonna say she gave me like $40 total. Like 2 times she gave me like $20 and we were like 18. I needed them $20. And throughout our 20s, yeah, just whenever I needed to have a serious conversation, I mean, she was there to listen to me. And like I said, when at one point a lot of my clothes got stolen, she gave me all of these awesome clothes. I'm talking good clothes, y'all. Had me out here, people like, where you get that from? Like, out here bussing, you know what I'm saying? And I was so appreciative, so grateful, of her. And when I got into a better position, we just so happened to run into each other. And I'm like, hey, girl, well, come by, let's chill. And she starts letting me know, well, now she's in a pickle. And I felt so good to be able to offer her things and help her. I'm like, yes, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? I got you. And what I realized is when I started offering and helping, I was like, this is making things hard on me. Now, the difference is, see, they were not hurting themselves to help me. I was hurting myself to help her. I, at this point, have to be responsible for two people. Now I have a son, and I cannot give you too much of ours because I am the only provider for me and him. I can't give you too much time. I can't give you too much money. I can't give you too much anything. And I had to sit down, and the biggest issue is the drugs. She was on hardcore drugs. So that's why it became something that was so consistent. And, oof, I hate to go here because I feel like if the person ever listens to the video, they'll know who I'm talking about. And that has happened so many times, y'all. It's been so many people like, so you was talking about me, like pissed off. But it is what it is. The child of hers who she was bringing over for me to watch sometimes for her to work, which I don't mind at all, but the child was twerking and busting it open and trying to do sexual, and I got a son, and I was like, what? No, ma'am. He kept saying, what? Mama, she was trying to hump. I'm like, no, ma'am. We can't do this. And that's where it became an issue. So I ended up having to do something I did not want to do and cut that ish short. And it bothered me because I was like, man, Tatiana, this is kind of fake. After all she did for you, now it's your turn to just do a little bit of something. Just hang in there a little bit of a while. And it seemed like you can't do it. So I had to have a talk with myself, and I was like, you know what? It don't matter what happened. You cannot hurt somebody. I mean, you can't help somebody to the point to where it hurts you. No, ma'am, you cannot. And you cannot help someone to the point to where it negatively affects you and your child. No, ma'am. And I had no business putting myself in debt like that. We have no business doing it to other people. We have no business doing it to ourselves. Other people have no business doing it to us. If we didn't talk about it, then you can't get upset if it's not done. And the truth is we really expect it, and I don't even want to say it's wrong to expect somebody to give you the same things that you've given them before. But at the same time, if they don't, you just can't be mad about it. You always got to be boss enough to have plans, a plan B. Like I said earlier, I don't know if it's going to be on this recording or not, but when I was younger, I learned that adults would lie. They'll say, oh, I'm coming by, I'm going to do this, we're going to do that, and they would not do it. And it happened so often that I started saying, Tatiana, from now on, when people tell you they're going to do stuff, tell yourself, no, it's not going to happen, so you don't get your hopes up. And it was hard to get in the habit of that, but eventually I realized, once I got older, I had gotten in the habit of it, and I started producing a plan B. So if I was dating a guy and he said, I'm going to do something for you, I learned by the age of 21, for sure, by the age of 22. By the age of 22, I for sure realized, okay, if someone says they're going to do something for you and they don't, it's okay, because you're going to always have a plan B. You just have no business putting so much in other people's hands. You have no business putting so much in other people's hands. And then you ask yourself this. Let's say you need some financial help. Let's say you need some financial help and you're mad and you want to cut everyone off because there was not one person you could call who would help you financially. Not one person. And you just really need some gas money. Let's say earlier that week, you ate out, you bought some liquor, you bought some cigarettes, you bought, some underwear. Not underwear is a necessity, but I'm talking about lingerie. You bought some perfume from dealers, you got your toes done, and you just said, well, if times get hard, by the end of this week, I'll just reach out to somebody and borrow a little something, something. Well, it looks like you're looking for people to be more loyal to you than you are to yourself. Because where were you when it was time to protect yourself? Finances they are a serious form of self-harm. Overspending and irresponsibly spending is self-harm. A lot of us do it. You need to recognize it as self-harm, and we need to all recognize that so we can do better at it. But with that being said, I have been both a giver and taker when it comes to emotional and mental debt. Okay? So this is what I have taught myself, or what I've been saying to myself. I look in the mirror when I feel like I'm just so concerned and worried with the fact that people are not maybe giving me what I expected. I say, you are priceless, therefore it cannot be worth you. If I'm priceless, it can't be worth me. When I say me, I mean me. What's inside of this shell, me, my mind. Your mind is really all of you. You got your body, but everything that makes you into the type of person you are, your soul is in your mind. And you just give so much to other people, sitting up thinking about other people, replaying conversations, woulda, shoulda, couldas, wishing and hoping and all of that stuff. We give other people too much of our energy sometimes, and that's you. You're giving other people too much of you. And if you're really priceless, then whatever that BS is, it cannot be worth you. Stop giving it you. Okay? They ain't got enough to get you. It ain't got enough to get you, sis. Bro. Okay. So that is something I would like to share with you. I would like to share this thought: never assume or expect. Never, ever, ever assume or expect anything from anyone. The goal is to just be you unapologetically. Be a good person. Don't expect anything in return. Don't ever be good to someone expecting anything in return. Just be good. And when you're really good, you're good to yourself too. And when you're good to yourself, you don't have to expect so much from other people. Because when you're good to yourself, you have your own back in so many ways. When you're good to yourself, you're responsible with your finances. When you're good to yourself, you don't overindulge in things you have no business. When you're good to yourself, you're protective of yourself and you have your own back. You hold yourself down. When you are good to yourself, you say, this don't feel right. I'm going to stay away from it because I deserve to feel good. They're not going to treat me this way. I'm not going to stay in this toxic environment. I'm not going to belittle myself. I'm not going to talk down on myself. I'm going to do something good for myself. Period. You don't have to expect so much from other people. Other people don't have so much power to hurt you when you have your own back, when you love you appropriately, and when you are good to yourself. And honestly, when you're good to yourself, you don't let other people treat you like crap because you know your worth. You know better. Boundaries are always going to be important. Forever and always. You have to have boundaries. You have to know what your triggers are. You have to pay attention when your body is telling you, I'm triggered right now. And sometimes it's not because somebody's doing you wrong. Sometimes it's just because you haven't dealt with something. You're triggered by something because it makes you feel insecure. Sometimes you need to work through those insecurities. But, you need to know what's happening to you. You need to pay attention to what's happening to you so you can work through it. We have no business at all whatsoever holding ourselves hostage mentally We have no business whatsoever holding other people hostage mentally. No one owes you anything. No one is your property. Not even the person you're in a relationship with is your freaking property. If they ever want to leave you and have nothing to do with you, they have the right to. You don't own them. We are not anyone's slaves. You know what I'm saying? So how about you just be someone who's good to yourself? I mean, I really don't have that much more to say. I really don't have that much more to say. I kind of feel like I've expressed my emotions enough on this issue. I did do a video with Larger Curves, and yes, a live stream. We discussed Real Housewives of Atlanta. Her YouTube channel is LRGACURVS, I believe. Larger Curves. And we talked about Real Housewives of Atlanta. We talked about Love and Marriage Huntsville. We talked about, I feel like we talked about something else, but Married to Medicine. It's a whole 2 hour conversation. The conversation was too long, y'all. We was tired and sleepy at the end of it. I didn't even post it on my channel. But yeah, it's a great conversation. You guys can check it out. Um, I have made some body butter and some sugar scrubs and some hair products, and they're all on my website, which will be linked below. Feel free to make your orders. It's www.xlushensliving.com. That's XLUSHENCELIVING.com. I'll spell it again. It's XLUSHENCELIVING.com. Okay? I know it's difficult to spell, but it had to be original, right? Believe it or not, I made that name up freshman year of college, Ex-Luscious. I made it up freshman year of college, and I said, I want to make up a word. We had a college professor, and he was like, who is Webster? And we're like, what? Who is Webster? We're like, what?